Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video. I am going to keep the intro very short because it's a little bit crazy and scary markets right now. Almost as scary as it's looking here on my screen. Before we go to dive in, then please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Now let's get to it, and today we're starting off with the news because that is actually what is most important. The Dow Jones is falling approximately 600 points. Now even a little bit more, 750 to be exact. S&P is going down 2.7%, Nasdaq is going down 3.5%. Also oil we see dumping down. Gold and silver were down first quite a lot today, but are now popping up a little bit. And everything has to do with the inflation number that just came out. It was 8.6% in May compared to 12 months earlier, which is the highest since 1981, so that is pretty bad. Here we're seeing another headline there, one headline after another popping up on CNBC. The Dow falls 800%, 3% lower. Inflation is the highest since 40 years, and like I said, that right now looks a little bit scary because they said inflation will be transitory. Now I can tell you that was absolutely not true. It will absolutely not be transitory, and no, we have absolutely not peaked out. This might go even much higher. I always said at least 2 years, because it takes a long time before you see the real effects of the central banks rising interest rates in the real economy. So Christmas 2024, that is what I'm looking out for, and then I think the inflation will come down some, but it will still stay high for a long period of time. Something else that I want to show you is that the CPI came out at 6%, which was also higher. They expected 5.9, still quite high. This is also a headline that came out, also of course about the inflation, but there is one sentence that I noticed that I thought, oh my god, this is so weird. Surging food, gas and energy prices computed to the gain, with fuel up to 106% over the year. Well, I don't have to tell you that in the supermarkets, does it feel like you are only paying 8% more on inflation for food, or maybe for your energy? No, absolutely not. It feels like much more, and I know actually almost 100% sure it is much more, so that the way that they calculate the inflation has been changed a few times in the last few decades, and therefore it kind of looks like it's quote-unquote only 8.6%. But I think actually in reality it's like 20 or 30%, but just because they change the calculation, take some stuff out, make some stuff as a lighter weight in the total calculation, well, then you can pretty much calculate to any percentage that you want to. So again, I think the real inflation is much higher. And we also see the effect on the markets. Let's for fun now wind this down. This is the S&P 500, and I said in yesterday's video, we're going up. We are here going sideways. If we cannot manage to break above this resistance line, then I think we're going to roll over. Well, what do you know? One day later we already rolled over, and now we're kind of going to the lows again. Not going every market, just the S&P 500, but of course also Dow Jones and the Nasdaq dropping down quite tremendously. The dollar index is also said something that we talked about yesterday. They said, well, maybe a little bit more sideways action before we're going higher. Also here, the day after, quite the pump up. And I think this is not the end yet. So of course now we're targeting here the tops of the dollar index, which is approximately 104, 105. And if we break that, then I see a lot of numbers coming by. 120. I think that is something that could definitely be in the cards next couple months. Then I quickly want to move over to BTC, and also here you see a lot of sideways action, and then today we're kind of dropping down on news. I said it also before, dollar index is pumping, BTC is dumping, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. So yeah, on the higher time frames it actually looks quite ugly. You have the money flow going down, VWAP going down, RSI is going down, momentum wave going down. On the hourly, it looks like we might roll over here a little bit to the upside, but still the money flow looks quite ugly. VWAP higher, RSI a little bit higher, so a bit of a mixed signals there. But actually it gets more interesting once we zoom down, zoom further down to the smaller time frames, because what do we have here? We have talked about this already many times. This is a absolute beautiful bullish divergence. not super strong because the money flow just does not really want to come up. VWAP is now rolling over again. RSIs are rolling over. So maybe this needs a little bit more time to play out. You could also even say that we have a beautiful bullish divergence on these candles right here, where you can see that the price is making a new low, and then of course the momentum waves are going higher, so maybe this just needs a little bit more time to play out. Of course, if we would zoom down to a little bit smaller time frames, we kind of see the same image on the 12 minute, the 10 minutes. Let me quickly check the 6 minute. Yeah, actually also here you could say that this is our bullish divergence. Now, full transparency, I am in a small long trade to see if I can trade this move up. The reason also why I did it is not only because we just printed this bullish divergence on the 12 or the 15 minute, but if I zoom out, a matter of fact, you know what, let me take the hourly, then it's a little bit more clear. You can see that we are also kind of close to the 29k. That is a very important support level, and as you can see, we did not really test it here. This is kind of the same level as where we are right now. So I thought, you know what, maybe this is just not graved in stone, and that we really need to go to 29 before we can go higher. This could also be our turning point. That's why I have a small long position open, and actually, matter of fact, you can also see that this was also the level where we sometimes had a turnaround or a pump up. So I think it's kind of safe in that. Again, that smaller time frame for me was a confirmation of a small trade. Why a small trade? Because on the bigger time frames it's still quite ugly. I think in the bigger time frames we still need more time to go higher. If it is kind of in a safe position, as in I'm a little bit in profit, I probably move the stop loss to entry and see if I can ride it out during the weekend. More often than not, we see a little bit of a rise during the weekend, and then sometimes a little bit of a dump on Monday or Tuesday to close that small CME gap. So let's see how that goes. If it really dumps down below the 29k and all of a sudden we are going to close the daily, then I'm most likely going to close my trade just to be sure, because for me that 29k, or here this white line, the 2800, 600 ish is just a very, very important support. So if you start losing it for whatever reason, it might get bloody very, very fast. Of course, on the top, then the resistance, we have it approximately at 31,500 and then 32 and 33,000. So if the price moves higher, I will take my profits around these levels because yeah, right now it's just so bearish. I don't see this thing all the way pumping up to 34, 35k where we still have a CME gap. I'm still a bit more on the bearish side, so it is sideways or lower. Like I said, for me the dollar index right now is leading, so if this thing starts pumping, then I think there is much more dumping going on, but it could be a nice scalp. That's why I'm having this small trade open right now, again based on the 12 and the 15 minutes bullish divergence. Let's see how that plays out. Quickly want to head over to ETH. We haven't done it in a while. As you can see, the high volume node, and now watch the thick red line. We haven't extended the volume node for a long time, so I always like to do it during the video so you can see exactly what I am doing. And you can see that now the highest volume node is going lower. I will move this one or twice so that you can see it, and that's a great example that you can see that once there is more data on the candles within this volume node tool, that you also can see that the highest trading volume then moves to the upside or the downside, and then also therefore your point of support and resistance also moves to the upside and the downside. Now I had this white line where I said no, this is pretty good resistance so far because we just bounced off already multiple times. Oh no, not this one, but here and here and here. That I think, like, if we're going up, I'm definitely checking out for this, but right now we're also trading just below the highest volume node, which is hanging around approximately 1800, and we're also just right now at that support line that I draw at 1730. If we would drop that, if we would break that to the downside, then I'm afraid we are going to test approximately the 1300. Let's hope that will not happen. But to be honest, I'm just really missing all the power of the bulls. So far I am still quite bearish, so that's also why I'm very careful with my trades. So again, if we move higher, I'm looking out for that approximately 1800 as a resistance from the highest volume node, and then this white line will approximately come out somewhere at 1850 or something. Then here's support on 1730-ish, and if we break that, then the 1300. Those are now the most important levels. I'm not going to trade ETH, haven't done it in the last week, and will most likely also not do it. I'm just more focused on BTC right now. Alright guys, I think that was it for now. Hope you liked the video. If you do, then show your appreciation by liking, subscribing, click on the bell, click on all so you don't miss anything. Leave me a comment, share this video with your friends if you think that's useful. Also in the descriptions you will find 2 links to my Instagram and Twitter. I am posting multiple times per day on Twitter, so feel free to check that out. Also very interesting stuff about central banks, trade setups, the inflation, all kind of good stuff, so definitely check that out once or twice a day. And then of course I would like to thank you guys very much again for watching. Have a good weekend. See you in the next one. Bye bye.